Hello, this is Double Talk 73, your fishing friend. This is going to be my first honest effort at streaming here on Twitch. So, those of you that are watching, thank you. Thank you for joining. And I'm going to try to make this each time we go fishing uh, both informative and interesting and fun because I'm going to have fun. If you want to stay with me, that's fine. If you have something else to do, that's okay too. So, excuse me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. That should cover the different time zones. I don't know how the chat's going to work. Uh, like I said, I'm an old man and not real computer illiterate, but I've got it set up on a different separate monitor over here, and let's see what happens. And we'll just go from there. I thought I'd start off with something I haven't fished here in quite a while. St. Croix. Uh, I used to spend a lot of time here. Got a lot of my money there. So what we're going to fish for this morning, afternoon, evening, we're gonna we're gonna try to catch some muskie, some pike, and then go for some blues. And the one thing that I have talked to the devs about is they've reduced the size of the catfish that are in the lake. Now y'all know I have to use my magnifying glass, so bear with me. Blind one eye can't see out of the other, so that's okay. All fish. Blue, black and blue catfish. 83 pounds, 83.78 pounds is the biggest right now. Uh, that used to be just a decent uni. Now it's on a leaderboard. My personal best is 89.9 something. And I tried for over 2 years to catch a 90 pounder, and then they kind of changed things. So we'll see what we can do. But the first thing we can do, uh, it says now that I'm streaming. Okay, Steam Elements says it is now live streaming Fishing Planet. All right, thank you. I'm glad to know that. But anyhow, I'm Double Talk 73, and I'm sure, hopefully, you know who I am. I'm the same here as I am on YouTube. Now, if we're going to start off with fishing for Uni Muskie, Uni Clear Muskie, you wanted to fish on a sunny morning. And here's the rigs I like to use. Let me get rid of that picture there for a minute. I like to use my bottom rods. Heavy Chaser, 10-2, Leviathan 10,000. 10,000? Yeah, 10,000. Braid 011, 8-ounce sinker, titanium leader .014, a hook 6/0, and large minnows. Now you can use a barbless 6 and you'll get more money, more XP. And whichever, they'll both catch. The reason I'm using a leader is here lately the fish have been biting them things, biting off your rig. So this is what we'll be using for both the clear muskie and regular muskie. And then when we fish for the tiger trout, we'll be using a little different rig. We'll use a 5/0 hook and shiners and fish for them. And for pike, let's see. Let me show you what I'm going to use now. I'm going to be using the Majesty 11.8, the Leviathan 10,000. See, we're still pretty heavy rigs. 011 line, which is 57 pounds. So we got 57 pound, 57 pound, 57 pound, and our leader is 55 pound. That's the weakest part link, so we don't lose our sinkers and everything, or excuse me, our hooks and baits and whatever. Okay, let's go fishing. See what we can do. We'll go ahead and get over there, and then we'll go ahead and go to the next morning. So we're working on it, and hope it's real foggy, because if it's foggy, that seems to be when the clear muskie bite better. And anytime I'm in a room, excuse me, and y'all want to join, please feel free. You're not going to hurt my feelings. We can fish together as long as there's enough room in the room for you to come in. Let's see here. Put our rod stand down, and I want to move in where I can. Okay. My light on. Yep. Okay. Let's go the next morning. Fish for these from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. Sunny. There's a little bit of fog. And I like to cast out about 100 feet, so probably overcast and not too bad. Clip that line. That way I don't have to guess next time. You see where I'm aiming? See that? There's a tree right over in here. It's gold when there's no fog. Can you not see that gold tree? Gold bush? Oops, that's going to be a little short. Yeah, just a way short. We got one nibbling on us already. Shame on you. I gotta get my rods out if you're going to catch fish with it. We're going to catch this fish, I guess. It's not a real big one. But it's a fish. The uni clears, my understanding is they're getting harder to catch, like a lot of other species. It's a start. Has money in the bank. Whoa. You know, I haven't figured that out about that casting yet. If you hit that line dead on, I understand that's where it's going to go. But if you go above the line, does it go the extra distance, or does it still come back to 100 feet? That I don't know. There's no really way of telling, I guess. Maybe whether you catch fish or don't catch fish would be the divining factor in that. If I get bored, I'll whistle them in. If you've watched some of my videos, you know that I whistle them in. I don't know if this chat's working. If somebody's there, will send me a chat message. I'd appreciate it. Just to see if this extra monitor here is set up right. Because I don't know. Not real computer literate. Just do the best that I can. But I can catch some fish. I can catch some fish in real life too. I like to fish below the dam here close to the house. I'm about, I can drive probably about 5 miles and go down below the dam and catch drum, big drum, One time or another, a friend of mine and his dad, we used to fish out of the gates below the dam, under the boils, and we catch 50 or 60 pound drum. Put 3 of them on a stringer, couldn't pull them in the boat, just had to drag them down the river. But at one time or another, we held the world record of freshwater drum and didn't know it. And then a son of a well-known fishing personality around Tennessee came over here and caught a drum. It weighed 64 pounds and so many ounces. There was a whole page spread in the local newspaper about his son catching that. We've got 2 on now, catching that drum. I told my buddy, I said, man, we've caught them that big. He said, yeah, but we don't have a famous daddy. His daddy was a postmaster, so he wasn't famous. But there was an older guy sat down below the dam by a train trestle, and he come there fishing every day for food. He wasn't there for fun. He was there to catch fish, feed his family. So whenever we catch those drum, we take them down there. And when he'd see us coming, well, good morning, Centaur. Okay, Centaur. I'm glad you're with me. But anyhow, we take him down to him, and whenever he'd see us coming down the river, he'd start smiling because he knew we was bringing him some food. Because if they're cooked right, my understanding is they're a mud fish. There's a lot of bones, but if they know how to cook them, they know how to cook them. Like carp. Carp's a delicacy, from my understanding, in Europe. If you can cook them so that Senator. Okay, I'll get it. Here's a trophy. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Me, us, whatever. I appreciate it. Another trophy. See, that's what we keep getting here is trophies. Now, used to, in days of long ago, what you used to do is you used to get 2 commons, 1 trophy, and 1 uni. When you there we go again. Yeah, whatever. 2 commons, 1 trophy, and 1 uni. But it's not happening that way now. That was also when I was fishing with floats before I could. I used a Brutus 9'10", and the rig set up like that before we had bottom rods and rod holder. If there's anything that y'all would like to see me fish for in the future, put it in chat, and I'll do the best I can to make it happen. At least I know the chat's working, because Senator said good morning and then laughed at me because I couldn't put his name out right. But that's okay. And like I told people, if you're laughing at me or giving me a hard time, you're leaving somebody else alone. And for me, it's just like rolling water off a duck's back. $31. It's not too bad. 2 trophies and 2 commons. Now I don't have premium, so if you have premium, you're going to wind up getting 50% more money and XP than I will. But I just hope that I can catch a bunch of fish. wishing and hoping. Come on, fish. Now you'll also know that if you watch me very often in my videos on YouTube, that after a few minutes of inactivity, I like to reset one of the lines. Sometimes that wakes things up, sometimes it doesn't. But it's like a chicken noodle soup for a cold, it can't hurt. I moved my boat over here before we started fishing. I guess it's still here. May not be. Probably not, because I went back to the boat landing and then went directly over here. Sometimes I fish for pike out of a boat. Sometimes I fish for it off land. So if my boat ain't here, which I'll find out in just a minute or so, we'll fish from land. Works either way. Let's run over here real quick and see, just out of curiosity. Because this is where I park it when I come over here. Either on this side of these reeds or this side. Nope, ain't here. Okay, now we know. Okay, fish, I'm ready for you now. Come on. Is that all you're going to let me have? Better than nothing, but I'd like a couple more. Not greedy. I haven't noticed any yellow on the, there's one, two, a unique, there's a 71-pound unique blue and a unique pike. I caught it at Maku Maku. Um, if you use a lure, just about any kind really, at top water, and throw it up against the bank, you can you'll get hung up. You'll either bring back bark, branch, twig, um, lista, I think that's the name of it, the water weeds that are down there, or black caiman. If you go way back on the, when you open the map, all the way to the right, top of the map, big, huge open area. If you go over to the left, there's a fishing camp there, and if you come out from the fishing camp, I don't know, 50, 75 feet, something like that. If you sit there of a morning or of an evening when you're fishing for either gilded or flathead catfish, there's a big old caiman that'll swim around out there, and he's got the nickname of No Tail because all that's above the water is his back and his eyes looking at you, and he'll come swim across the water maybe 30, 40 feet from you. And if you cast at him, believe me, I've tried to foul hook him before. It ain't going to happen. As soon as you rear back with that rod, he's gone. But against the bank, that's where you'll catch him. If you get in your boat at the dock and go left along the shoreline, the first island you come to be on your right. Directly across from that is three patches of that lista or whatever that is called down there, and you cast across it up against the bank, and you'll catch the caiman there. It was a long time before I caught my first one. I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 times of going down there fishing, and then when you finally catch one, you'll catch a bunch of them. I say a bunch, depending on where you're fishing, but they don't seem to be underwater. You don't hook them with a bottom rod. It'll be a topwater lure. And I use buzz baits a lot down there, so maybe that's how I catch them. And I throw up against the bank or cast along the bank. I hope that helped. Thank you for the question. I appreciate it. And it's not a fish, but you catch it fishing. Okay, 55. I believe that's all they're going to let us have. No uni. Now, there's a good thing. Tomorrow morning, day 3, see, we're on day 2. Day 3 is a sunny morning, too, so we'll come back here again after we fish for some blues. Now, the nice thing about it is I like this 1,102-pound keeper, because with the 880 I used to have, when it got to catching nice big blues, I had to start culling, excuse me, culling smaller fish so I could keep on fishing. Good. I'm glad it did. That's what I like to do. I like to help people. Like I said, I'm going to have fun, and if I can help you, I'll be glad to. Okay. Now we're going to go over here. We're going to fish for regular muskie. What we do that, come around this tree. When the path splits, we're going to go to the right down here by the water's edge. Ah, it's crowded down here this morning. Okay. Put our rod stand down. And we're going to cast out in this area. See these tall ones here? We're going to go right in through here. And I like to cast out 140 feet. That seems to be a good number. Okay, 602. We can go ahead and cast. And I overcast this too. And then bring it back. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. Oops. Close enough. Better watch what I'm doing, huh? So, now these, oops. What did I do? See there? Oh man, too many things to remember. Unclip it. Try it again. If at first we don't succeed, oh, I couldn't do that again if I tried. Cool. We got a fish on. See, it ain't gonna let me get the other rods out. That's a little one. But it's a fish. In other areas of the game, in Russia, California, I like to catch the little fish too. Not just the big monsters, 130-pound belugas or 128-pound Wales catfish. I like to catch the silver bream, the smaller fish. They're fun too. We'll keep it. Doo-doo-doo. What I should have done is I don't know, 137 seemed to work. See there? I'm going to go ahead and get number 4 right out here and then clip it while I'm thinking about it. I won't have to worry about it. We'll let it go with that. We won't clip it. We'll let it ride. It's in the wrong hole. Wrong spot on the stand. There we go. Cast a little further. There we go. That's a little further. When I got time, I'll bring this one in and reset it. Come on, fish. Hello, Ollie. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. Sorry, I was watching what my fishing lines were doing instead of paying attention to the chat, so please forgive me. We're in St. Croix Lake, Michigan, trying to catch some muskie, and then we're going to try to catch some pike, and then some big blues, hopefully big blues. See, now I did good by resetting that. Maybe. Is it Ale or Ali? Can you spell it phonetically? A-L-E is Ale, or is it Ali? Thank you for joining. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Oops. Obviously, y'all know each other. That's cool. If I can hook a big one here, or one of the big blues, I'll show you a technique that another fisherman showed me on the on Yahoo. Ale. Cool. There you go. That makes it easier for me. Hello, Krellick. How you doing, buddy? I saw you did pretty good in a competition the other day. I watched your videos too. I watch your videos and learn. And I hope that's what other people do with mine. You're a pretty good teacher. And I see you usually do pretty good in the comps. Comps are not my thing. Uh, Game Master Vino and Brom and Big Legit say the reason is I don't want to put the time in practice, because the guys like you that really do a lot of good in the competitions put hours and hours of practice into catching specific fish, specific times, because the comps are not always the same time or same place. And I take my hat off to y'all for that. That's devotion. Then there's some of the guys that put out videos. Now, I'd say more than once in a while. You're a killer up there at the, what's it called, a salmon clash in Alaska? Yeah, you do pretty good at that. I don't do the comps, but when they're over or when they're finished, I like to, like rocket science, yeah. I like to look at the results. The only thing I wish they did put on the results is a big fish. That they don't do. But another thing that I have mentioned to the cool, like I say, he's a teacher. That's what I like to be. But I'm also a student. You're never too old, and believe me, I'm old. I'm so old I fart dust. But you're never too old to learn something new, hopefully. My dad used to tell me, a day that goes by that you don't learn one thing new was a day that's wasted. A tiger, what are you doing over here? I tried last week, I believe it was, to catch the pike slasher. I caught it last year. I don't know if it let me catch it again or not. I tried for a couple of days off and on. Didn't have any success. I know where it is. I know the time. I know the leader length, the hook and the bait. Nothing. I've seen guys go in there and on videos and cast out there, not a edited, just a new video because of the time stamp up in the corner, and cast out there, and 5 or 10 minutes they got to fish. And when I caught my first one, it ding 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 and ding ding ding, and the bobber went down and ding ding ding. Yep, there you go, something new to figure out. That's exactly right. And the way the devs keep changing it, uh, that's really a good thing. It doesn't get stale. With new things to learn, it's ever evolving, just like Maku Maku. A lot of things to learn down there. It's not a huge place, but it's a lot to learn. And we'll go down there in upcoming streams. And give me about 5 minutes, and I'll teach you everything I know. Okay. Thank you, Senator. See, learned that. So I've caught all the monsters, the Tyrena, Trout, I forget what's up in White Moose Lake. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was tough. Uh, the ding, ding, ding in my ears just kept going ding, 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 ding. The bobber go down and come back up. Bobber go down, come back up. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Finally, it went down, and yeah, what I call the target bobber up in the right-hand corner. When it finally gets nervous, then I knew I had to fish. And let's see. And I forgot what some of the others are. Oh, I'll tell you one that was tough for me too was the Mad Eye Buffalo in Texas, where you get the invisible line. I don't think any of them would be your nightmare acrylic. I really don't. But when you get that invisible line, nobody bothers to tell you that it's so weak that you can't have any drag at all until you catch the fish. And I had to get the line 3 times before. Uh, no, I have not. Sorry, that I can't help you. Hell. But anyhow, a lot of you have seen a player on here, Raffles 63. He's a buddy of mine. He lives in England. He's pretty sick right now. He has something called AS. It's some kind of syndrome. I don't remember the name of it, but it's similar to Crohn's, but maybe 10 times worse. And he goes sometimes for 7, 8, or 9 days in a row without sleeping because his body is racked with such pain. And he hasn't been fishing with me in, gosh, 4 months, I guess. But I email him and we talk every once in a while that way. Make sure he's still okay or alive. But anyhow, he's the one that told me that I had to reduce my drag because every time I'd break it, he'd laugh at me because he knew what I was doing. He'd just laugh at me. And that's okay. What's the one down in Louisiana called? The pike. I mean, the gar. I can't remember. Oh, well. That was longer than 5 minutes ago, too. Y'all have to excuse the glare on my glasses. I've tried a little bit of everything, different lighting, angles. I saw one piece of advice was to do this with your glasses, angle them, which is okay, but I can't see. It's good because I have to look through my bifocals every once in a while, so please forgive the glare. And another person said, turn down the brightness of your monitor. Well, I've got a 32-inch monitor here that somehow the control button on the bottom messed up, and all I can do is turn it off and on, and it cost me too much to replace it. So I'm a little cheap like that. Alligator Gar. Yeah, there's a monster down there that I forget what the name of it is. See, we have alligator gar here in the Tennessee River. There's if you put your boat in below the dam and head downriver towards town, there's a big, used to be a Quaker Oats processing plant right on the river, and down below there was another manufacturer called Singer Cobble that made parts for Singer sewing machines. You go down below that, and there's a bend in the river, and you, when nothing else was biting, you could go down there, and you take a piece of white nylon about, I don't know, 8-10 inches long, and thread it up, fray it. Yes, the Halloween gar, and tie it on the end of your line, and cast it out there, and the gar, they got snouts about this long, and they get that nylon hung in those teeth on those snouts, and they can't get loose. So you reel them in, bring them up, break their bill, throw back. Now they're about this big around, and maybe 5 to 6 feet long. I don't know. I don't know if it's a cat or not. But anyhow, uh, break their bill because the alligator gar around here, they eat the bass and other game fish, crappie. They eat their eggs, which reduces the population, the fishing population. So all the other fishermen like us to get rid of the gar as much as we can. We also have sturgeon here in the river. A little bit further down towards an area called Moccasin Bend, there's a creek that comes in from the south, Chickamauga Creek, and the sturgeon kind of live in that area. Can't keep them at all. They're protected here in Tennessee. Uh, a buddy of mine's caught some, and you get them out of the water, just bring them up to the side of the boat, and you can tell it's a female, just big old belly, just full of eggs. Zombie cat. Okay, cool. Thank you. Appreciate it. Like I said, that was longer than 5 minutes ago. Anyhow, you gotta let them go. Okay, we're done with this now. No uni again. Uh-oh. See what happened here? This is what this game has started doing, locking up. So what I've got to do, I got to shut this down. That's all I can do, shut it down and restart it. So I apologize. Yeah, tell me about it. Maybe that's why I'm not catching any fish when the game locks up. Now what's funny is the time kept on clicking, but the game wasn't doing anything. I don't know if I'm still broadcasting or not, or streaming, I guess. Well, it was time to go for see what we do with pike anyhow. Yeah, let's start over here. Just use a little different rig. We're going to float fish for this. Cool. Holy smokes. Is that in Europe? $3,000 fine? Holy smokes. Elder Gar. Yep, Naren was Elder Gar. And then the gar down in Florida was something else too. $3,000. Of course, now around here, if you get caught fishing without a license, game warden can take everything you got with you, take your truck, your fishing gear, everything. Leave you with a ticket there for at least $500, leave you standing in the parking lot or wherever, and gone. Which is not too cool. Nope, not yet. I should know and get down there where everybody's standing. There we go. Now, there's a little open area. I'm sorry, buddy. Little open area right here. See a little open area here where I can fish. Let's see, which one is it? Is it this one? Nope. This one. No. I don't believe I want to. Yeah, I was going to do that. I don't believe I want a chubby bobber. I want something a little bit, a little more substantial. Let's use this one. Excuse me. Got a 4-aught hook. Let's put a 6 on there. There we go. And 39-inch leader. And I want a shiner. There we go. That's what's on there. Okay. It was already there. Okay. Now let's see what we can do. Florida Gar. Ooh, that's probably overcast. I need to be around 55 or 60 feet out. Let's start at 60. 59. That's a good number. Oop, got to put my headphones on so I can hear them ding. Well, Acrylic, thanks for coming. Here we go. Ooh, yeah. I'll catch you later, Acrylic. There we go. There's money. And Acrylic, I don't know if you're gone yet or not, but thank you for what you taught me. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. And thanks for joining. What I'm surprised is that my horse hasn't come in and joined us yet this morning. I've got a 126-pound Great Pyrenees. Come on now. We ain't had a uni of anything yet. We'll take trophies. There's another Uni Blue 62-pound. You know what? I could probably clip this line. No, I can't either. Forgot. That'd make it too easy, wouldn't it? Uh, Not really. Uh, they're they work the difference in the poppers. They work the same across the top of the water. They're different inside. The configuration is different. The major poppers are long and slender, and most of the other poppers are more bunched up, like a big head and then a tail, like a frog. I use major poppers a lot down in Maku Maku, excuse me, down in Blue Crab Island for speckled bass. And I believe if you fish 30 consecutive nights at Conchican, you get your X Series frog popper, and that is a bass, or used to be. I don't know about now. I haven't fished there in a while. It is. You're more than welcome. It is a bass killer down in Florida, or it used to be. We'll have to give it a try somewhere down the road and see if it still is. Before they changed a little bit the spawn, I had a technique using that X Series Walker, Frog Walker, that I caught 13 uni bass in one night. Because when I'm fishing for bass down there, it's like real life fishing. I just fish night peaks. You're welcome. You're welcome. I also like to use the Walker, the popper, X Series Frog Popper down in Quanchican for largemouth and spotted bass. Works pretty good. See, we got 212 pounds. I think the worst I ever did with that X Series popper down in Florida was eight unis. I caught my 13 pounder on it. I was happy with that. And we'll go there too. We'll go to Quanchican and try it. I'll show you where the uni white crappie are down there. They're tough. Somewhere down the road. Gives us something else to fish for. The Come on, just don't ding me. Take it. Here we go. Just ask for it. It's another little one. Well, that is a little one. We'll keep it till we need to start culling. Let's bring it into 55 this time and see what we can do. Haven't caught a uni yet this morning. Maybe tomorrow morning will be better. Come on, get up there. Get up there. Come on. Well, looks like I got trophyitis this morning. I'll take them. Yeah. The thing about it, though, farming sturgeon in California, uh, when blue crab opened up, I stayed there for 6 or 7 straight days farming sturgeon so that I could level up to get to blue crab. And then the day that I reached level, I think it's 58, 57, whatever it is to get there, a friend of mine gifted me the DLC with that 30 days there with premium and the lures and everything, and which I thought was pretty nice. I told him, I said, you don't have to do that. He said, I know, but I want to. I said, okay, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. He said, yeah, but you've helped me so much. I said, okay, I appreciate it. You can't send them back. That's the thing about it. But anyhow, when I want to farm for a lot of money in a shorter period of time, that's where I go. I have a system. I got a video on it. I call it my 9-11-13 farming sturgeon in California. And you fish for, well, I started fishing for 30 game minutes at each time, which is roughly 7 minutes. So you actually only fish less than half an hour for the whole night. And you'll catch anywhere from 10 to 15, depending on how many you lose because of low line tension. And it pays pretty good, and the XP is good too. Just another way of doing something, another way of having fun. And you're right, it gets boring. It gets boring. But that's part of the game. Thursday, we may start there. I'm going to do my absolute best to stream every Tuesday and Thursday from 10 a.m. to noon Eastern Standard Time. And we may go there, start off Thursday morning. And I can show y'all that, what I call my 9-11-13 system. 8:01. Okay, here we go. Time to go fish for tiger trout. So here we're going to put, I'm going to use all the same bottom rods, but I'm going to use a 5/0 hook. Whoa, where's my 5s? I don't have a 5/0. Why don't I? Well, let's see if there's any in the store. 3, 4, 5/0. There we go. Interesting. Who would have thunk I didn't have them? There we go. 5/0. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to use shiners. Okay. Now for here, we're going to go back over here. And walk around over here. Uh-oh. No, I didn't have a bottom rod. Thought I left my rod stand. I do that sometimes too. I come to this rock over here. just past it. You take a right-hand turn. See if we can get a rod stand down. I'm a little late getting here because I was too busy fishing. Okay. Where we're going to fish for these is right out in this area. We'll get out there 115 feet. Turn the light on. Yeah, have you ever left your rod standing and go, oh, where'd I leave it? Yeah, that's true. Now with my system, you cast out at 85 feet with bottom rods, and a lot of time you'll have 4 on at the same time. So you have to play with them. I tried using his. I couldn't make it work, so I was using what I called a sturgeon rotation with one rod, and it kind of morphed into this 911-13, which I actually fish less time and close enough. Okay, Tiger, come on. Uh-huh. Luck has a lot to do with it too. Little competition makes it interesting. What's funny is while I'm streaming and I'm listening to me in my headset talking, and there's about a 6 or 7 second delay in what I'm saying and what's actually coming out, which I think is interesting. We got a tiger here. Well, I tell you, if these tigers weighed as much as a clear muskie, it'd take a crane to get them in. Man, they fight. They're good fighters. See, that's funny. Okay, 2 on. I like multiples on. Oh, that's a small one. Maybe one will be bigger. About the same. They'll come in a hurry. Stay on, number 4. Stay on. Now we got another one on. There we go. Finally get a tiger. Ooh, got all 4 going. That's a bigger one. But I don't want to lose 3 too. Come on, 3. Come on, 4. Bring you on in. Bring it on home to daddy. Oh, don't lose them. Don't lose them. What I'm trying to figure out is the low line tension. There's another muskie. A low line tension when a rod is bent in a strong arc like that. And it says that the fish got off of a low line tension. Whatever, part of the game. Some you get in, some you don't. Look like a tiger. Yeah, come on. Come on, 3. I ain't never figured that out either. Trying to pick another rod up, now it swings over. I guess it replaces the bait. There we go, trophy tiger. That's better. Well, thank you. 4 gold, I'll take that. Didn't even know I was fishing for that. Oop, I didn't clip that one. Too many things to remember. Too many things to remember. Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, I don't either. We've talked to, I say we, uh, I was lucky enough to be invited to be on the Dev's Tester Club lists where the new waterways that come open, we get it, we get to go fish on them and try to find bugs and problems. Because for some reason, bugs seem to find me. So Big Daddy, he invited me to join, and I said, sure, that would be quite a privilege. So I have a way of through through Skype of talking to the developers, and we've talked about that and other things. Some things they can correct easily, something simple in the code. Other things are a lot more difficult. There again, I'm not a computer person, so I have noticed in the past though that sometimes when some things get corrected, it's like a dominoes effect. It affects other things down the line. Wow, that was an hour. We've been fishing for an hour. Let's see what we got here. Got a call from my cardiologist. I might want to look at that. Yeah, I got a voicemail. Okay, I'll look at it in a minute. I had a quadruple bypass about, it's been 4 years now. And I'm glad I'm still alive. Time flies when you're having fun. But if we'd have been in California, we'd already be into our second rotation with a sturgeon. Your time is fun when you're having flies. Well, we're getting musky where the tigers are and tigers where the muskie are, and no unis. Maybe we'll have better luck with the catfish. Well, this is absolutely exciting, isn't it? Now, before I started this, I repaired all my rods. I want you to look at the damage to the line that the muskies did. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. They say that the bypasses are good for 10 years. And maybe 6 years from now, they'll come up with something that won't be quite so invasive, intrusive. Uh, it was a heck of an ordeal, but I appreciate the thought, Senator. Thank you very much. My family's glad I am too. I'm a mean old booger. You know, they say that the good die young and the mean live on to try to do good for the things that they've done bad, I guess is the way of saying it. Maybe that's why I'm still alive. When I was younger, I was not a very good person at all. That's just part of growing up. But I'm different now. That was then, this is now. If you're still around next St. Patty Day and they have the same event, I'll show you how to really bolster your bait coin inventory. Raffles and I kind of piddled around with it, and for 10 days during that event this year, uh, we spent a lot of coins, made a lot of coins. I started the event out with all the way down, I was all the way down about 800 coins, and when I finished the event, I had over 2,700. So I made 1,900 bait coins by farming leprechauns and bully or rowdy bass down at blue crab, and no, I didn't know that. Interesting. Something else I learned today. That's cool. I agree. We all grow into the people we're meant to be. If you learn by your mistakes, I've learned a lot. The lady that I'm married to now, we've been married for 43 years. 43? 44 years. I'm sorry. We just had an anniversary. You better not forget that. Yeah, with the St. Patty. I'll show you that. You spend 200 bait coins to get 500 pieces of bait. That each fish you catch gives you a bait coin. Then you go back and you spend 200 bait coins to get 500 more, and you just keep doing that over and over and over. And anytime I can get what is that, 150% return on an investment, I figure it's worth it. Okay, 9 o'clock. They're done. If they was going to, they was going to. That's an interesting fact about the tiger muskie. Did not know that. Interesting. Now see, you're over learning me. That's too much to learn in one day. But thank you. Splakes are hard for me to catch. catch them by accident. I don't know how to catch them on purpose. Okay, so let's go over and get in our boat and go out to the, don't want to go there? Yeah, let's go out to the dock. I have two good places for catfish. One is out here on the floating dock, another is over at dusk to dawn. We'll go over there another time. Whoops, guess you better start that motor from going anywhere in it. Get rid of that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Get over here. Back up. Forget it, don't take long to get there. Just like when he got me that DLC for blue crab. I sold the boat for bait coins. That's, I think it's 355 bait coins, which didn't hurt my feelings. Okay. Now we're going to be using, we can either use okay, I'll show you. Good Lord willing, I'm still alive. I'll show you how to do it. What you do is in Missouri, you go over there and you fish, and when you turn around and go up to that medallion thing, it gives you the choice of getting 5 bait coins or buying 500. I mean 25 pieces of bait, or you can spend 200 bait coins and get 500 pieces. That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Knowledge is power a lot of times. Anyhow, you can spend 200 bait coins to get 500 bully grasshoppers. Okay, so you take those bully grasshoppers and you can catch a few there to pay for your trip, or you can just go right on down to blue crab and farm for the bullies off the farming spot over there where you stand in the water and fish. And I hope you know where that is. I put a couple markers down because I kept driving past it. So I put a couple of buoys down right where it was. Okay, we're going to fish here. Let's see. Let's go ahead and put marker down. Or okay. Now I like to fish here. Let's see what I think it's 11 to 1. Yeah, 11 to 1. Okay, I'm going to show you something else too. Let me go ahead and get rid of this one. And let's get our big float rig here. Yes. We'll go 20 inches. I don't think we can go, we'll have to go 23 because of the leader. And we're going to use a large minnow. Okay, and a number 6 hook. Okay. And where we're going to go over here, we're going to leave our other rods and we're just over this far corner, and we're going to fish right out in here, 20 feet out. And we want to fish there. Nice to have coins. We want to fish there till starting at 7 p.m. I had a marker here that RQC gave me where he caught his 90-pound blue But he was on a cloudy afternoon starting at this time. But I've caught some unis here. It's not a 90 pounder. I don't think they exist in this water anymore. Now, one thing about fishing on the other side of where we're going to be fishing, we might get lucky and catch a sturgeon too. Sturgeon here, the lake sturgeon, pay well. They're not particularly liking that large minnow. We got, let's see what we got here. Maybe that's why. Okay, let's put a large cut on there. Get down there where they are. Catfish are bottom feeders. There we go. Just got to get down there where they are. With a bait they like better. And large cut's cheaper bait. I like to fish here with duck muscle meat too. Here we go. And you can aim wherever out here. It's because the current is going to put your bait where you want it. The thing about catching them this close, it don't take long to get them in. Big in the, now unless you get a really big one, they take off running. And I like that. Inquenchable. That's a good word. A good thing about it is when I type a message down there, I have a program called Grammarically. It's free. I like free. And I'm, if you've watched any of my videos or fished with me before, I am a terrible typist. Let's see. Yes, I have a titanium meter on. When I get my fingers moving, it seems like my brain works faster than my fingers, or vice versa. And two always seems to come out OT, and just seems to come out JSUT. And the people that fish with me, and we type on the chat box, they've learned to decipher my chicken scratching. And they just kind of overlook me. So sometimes that's the way to take care of people like me. Just kind of overlook me, and I leave spaces and run words together, and I talk better than I type sometimes. You think I ought to take the titanium leader off? I've got braid on. Just sit back and relax. That's the way I like to fish. Even in real life, I like to find me a good place where I can lean back and relax. That's what that delay is. I bet you. Hadn't thought about it, but if something inappropriate comes across on the chat, I have time to delete it. Interesting. Let's see. What kind of weight we got here? Yeah, we still got plenty of room. That's 700 pounds I can catch. Let me try your suggestion. Take the titanium leader off. Then I gotta put my hook back on. Let's go to a 7. And large cut. Here we go. Okay, we'll see what happens. There again, not too old to learn, I hope. There we go. Finally got a uni when I took the titanium leader off. Thank you. But I'll tell you, when you go to blue crab, or maku, you better have that titanium leader on. Or I fished there a long time with just braid and no titanium leader on, and was talking to one of the fisher persons down there. I don't remember who it was, and told him that I saw they got bit off several times, and I said I hadn't been bit off yet. And about 10 minutes after that, here we go. About 10 minutes after that, it bit off. Now, this is my method that Boo Boo Shop taught me. I stop reeling as long as the reel bar stays up at max, and then start reeling again when it goes down. That way the rod weakens the fish, just like real life. Oops, real life fishing. That one thought he was on steroids. I fish for him with bob rods too. And I'll take the leaders off of them. Or we can do an experiment. I'll leave leaders on too and take leaders off too. We'll see how it produces what you think. That's the way you learn. But it seems that when I fish for the blues, they have preference to one rod or the other anyhow. Yes, lots of teeth. The arowana, when you pull them up out of the water, they have long teeth. And everybody knows about the piranha. They got nothing but a mouthful of teeth. What in the world are you doing, Bobber? Sideways? It's money. Whoops. Well, I tell you, Big Legit, he streams 6 days a week from 6 a.m. to noon, I believe it is. Holy smokes, 6 hours a day. I don't think I could sit that long. I'm a little over 300 pounds, and my booty gets a little numb. But he's trying to get uh, partner status, I believe it is, and that's his goal. So I hope he reaches it. I just want to have fun. That's my goal, and learn. The only hybrids that I know of around here are the hybrid stripe, and they get pretty big. My dad came up from Texas to visit me some time back, and there's a little fishing pier. It's kind of a T shaped out from the bank down below the dam. And I was down underneath it along the sidewalk, just jigging for gizzard or white shad to give to some of the other fishermen there. So they cut it up for catfish bait. And he was up there on top of that bridge, just casting out with a larger rig, just bringing it back. And the next thing I know, he's hollering, Bobby, 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 help me, Bobby, help me, Bobby. Now he was old. He was about my age at that time, and that I am now. And that rod was bent way over, and his arms were just straining. So I went real money real fast, went running up there, and he said, help me, help me. And I took the rod, and about 30, 35 minutes later, it broke free. I said, well, that was a nice one. So I reeled it in, and there was a scale about that big on the hook. He'd foul hooked one of them big stripe in that swift water. What a fight. What a fight. It was fun. I'm glad it got free. It'll get bigger. But the stripe around here there's a place called Cedar Hill Lake, and they'll get up to 65 to 70 pounds. That's a big, big bass. Okay, let's go over here now. Okay, we're going to start fishing now. Okay, titanium leaders. Let's get rid of 1 and 2. We'll put our hooks back on. I'm going to put 7s on over here on this one. No, that won't teach me nothing. I got 6s on the other one. Yep, that won't teach me nothing. So I got to put 6s on this. My sinker got gone too. Interesting. I like 8-ounce sinkers. Okay. Bait. Large cut. Large cut. What am I missing? It's not going to let me fish without a leader. Hook, line, sinker. It's not going to let me fish without a leader, is it? That's the only thing that's different. Huh. Oh well. So well, let's cast that out. I'm going to have to put the leader back on. Sorry. Put the line. Yeah. Sure enough. Well, let's go to 11 o'clock at night. Oh, it's dark. With these lights in my eyes. Ooh, wait a minute. And I like to fish 65 feet out here. That's my number here. Let's put some, did it again. Having trouble thinking and talking at the same time. Sometimes I get my teeth tangled or my tongue tangled around my eye teeth, can't see what I'm saying. Okay, now let's see what we got. Catch you a bunch of small ones. There we go. Thank you, Sturgeon. They usually don't like to bite on the large cut. At least that's what I found out in the past. You ever come up here and fish for the blues and in your boat and take what's called a Missouri boat ride? Hook one up and just let it pull you around. I know there's a challenge for that. Oops, wrong one. Challenge for that. And I don't believe I've met that challenge. It's a long ways. I had one, got hooked up once and went over to the shore over there around the rocks and got hung up in those rocks. And it just stayed there, went round and around and around and around and around. It didn't go anywhere. Quit pulling me. I literally went and ate supper, came back and watched TV, and it was still going round and round and round. And it wound up almost 4 hours of real life time that it was hooked up over in that against that rocks. It didn't come off, just going round and round and round. Well, they're not big, but we're catching them. Yeah, there you go. Okay, here we go. Now I'm gonna stop reeling. I keep my rod up and stop reeling. And when it comes down, when the reel REEL graph comes down, I start reeling again. That lets the rod tire the fish out. Fishing for beluga in a kayak, that's what you call brave. Come on, Uni. Am I going to have to whistle you in? Okay, stop reeling. It goes down, start reeling again. Oh, another sturgeon. Way to go. I like sturgeon. I like sturgeon. They pay more. More per pound. I bet. I was fishing up here with another guy, a buddy of mine, Venomous Jack, and he got a bug when he was in his kayak, as before he has speedboats, and it was zipping him around the lake. I mean, like he was in a bass boat, vroom, vroom, just back and forth around. I said, that's pretty cool. So I started heading over towards dusk till dawn, and a bug got a hold of me, and I had flipped maybe 25, 30 times fishing down in this area for the blues. But anyhow, it got a hold of me and started flipping me around and around in circles. I mean, just faster and faster. And then it threw me up on the shore, still going round, round, round. I was able to get out of the boat, out of the kayak, walk away, and watch it sit there on the bank, going round, 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 round in circles. And I told Jack to come over and take a look at it. He said, I can't. I can't get out of my canoe. I can't get out of my kayak. So finally, I just stopped the game and then re-entered. And when I re-entered, it had given me the challenge of the flipper 150 times. I probably did it in as fast as it was going. Probably did it in maybe a minute. Just it was hilarious. Rush is fun, but expensive. Okay, goes back down, start reeling. Goes back up, I'll stop reeling again. As long as it's stripping out, I stop reeling too. And it works. So I said, thank you, boo-boo. There we go. 69, smaller than the other one. But it's yeller. That's way too short. I could handle a 55, but a 47, that ain't gonna get it. It was funny. I wasn't recording at that time. I probably started recording a month or two, maybe later. That would have been one I'd have had to do an alternate R and started the recording. And so I'd have video evidence. It's hilarious. I appreciate you sticking with me, Senator. Do you have any of videos online on YouTube? Oh, we have company. Failure? No, man. Oh, lay back for a minute and relax. Yeah. Let me turn the light off so I can see if my rod stand wakes me up. I can sit and watch TV and go to sleep. I can stand up in a hammock and go to sleep. But when I'm fishing like this, ain't gonna go to sleep. Well, if you're knowledgeable, maybe you should try to do some videos. If you use OBS software, it's really pretty easy, and there's all kinds of videos on YouTube to tell you how to do it. And I used to have a microphone and a camera. Uh, yeah, I have a lot to learn too. But I got rid of the microphone from here, and I just use the microphone on the my webcam, which is a 920. I forgot the brand. Anyhow, it's a C920 Logitech C920, and I don't know how old you are, but when I have any problems, I have a 23-year-old son that still lives here, and I just say, Brett, come and help me. That's the way I cheat. I guess the catfish done gave up on us, haven't they? Well, that's okay. That's that Simiura must be standing in my boots. I hope they fit. We've got enough time to, because I said 10 to 12 plus or minus. So let's go back over here next morning and and see if the muskie will cooperate anymore. I still got room in the net. The thing is though, when I go to the next morning, it's going to sell my fish. So I have a lot of room in the net. I think that's the first time that I can remember fishing for the clear, the regular, and the tiger that I did not catch a uni at all. Now, wow, okay. Now I'm going to cheat. I'm going to preset my clips at 100. I've been told that cheating when you're fishing is legal, as long as you don't get caught. Uh-huh. Well, if you're playing a video for a fish that you're trying to catch, that's got to be helpful. Yeah, anything to do with a telephone or computer, just ask a youngin. They know. Okay, let's go here now. See how jerky that cast was? I validated my files before I started. So it should have been, oops, jerky. Okay, Muskie, do your thing. Here. What'd I forget? Tell me. What kind of bait have I got on here? I ain't gonna catch a single muskie with that. Best laid plans of mice and men. And to save my fishing time, I put them on from here. Uh, say you're just a kid. uh, nice to be called just a kid. See, I'm 72. And I've had a lot of comments about it's cool to see somebody my age playing video games. Age is just a state of mind. See, a lot of things that I used to like to do when I was younger, My mind is still willing, but my body ain't able. I used to play softball, industrial softball where I worked, and it was a blast. I like softball. And then my church started playing again when I was in my middle 60s. They asked me to play, and I said, sure. And after about the second game, I said, this ain't for me anymore. I can still hit the ball, but I can't run. Nice fish. You're welcome. Who is that? Light 'em up. Not as foggy. Not as foggy. We could cheat, throw another rod out there. Let's see, that one do. Yeah. I like a 45-inch slicker on that. Let's see what we get there. Excuse me. Well, I used to play a lot of what you call sandlot football when I was in high school. Now my eyes are really bad, really, really bad, a birth defect. Anyhow, uh, if I touched, they always made me a receiver because I'm 185 pounds and worked on a farm, and I was strong, real strong. Never played organized football in school, but I played sandlot. But anything, any football that I could get, I've always had big hands, but any football that I could touch, I could catch. And but that was my gift, I guess. And I came from northern Indiana down to Tennessee for my senior year of high school. And some of the guys that I played with on the weekend uh, knew how good I could catch a ball. And they told me that Red Etter was the greatest high school football coach in Tennessee, and that I ought to go try out. So I went and talked to him. I said, Coach, uh, I was thinking about trying out for football, and he said, looked at him and said, what's your position? I said, I'm a receiver. And he said, well, I already know who my starters are. If you want to try to beat them out, you're welcome to try, but I don't think you can. And I said, okay. So I just piddled around my whole senior year. Uh, Stayed in trouble and skipped school and just had fun. But later on, I learned that if you sat on the bench for Red Etter, if he thought enough of you to keep you on a team to sit on the bench and you never played a single minute of football, you got a 4 years college scholarship because they figured if you could play for Red Edder, you're good enough to play on any team that, that they had, which is that's saying a lot. But he was a good coach. He took a liking to me. I had him for drafting class, and I got, oh gosh, I forget how many. It was a lot of detentions. Got caught skipping school. I'm in a bunch. And I first went to the backfield coach, which was Stan Farmer. And for each 3 detentions, you get 1 whack. And he said, "Well, how many do you want to bust off?" I said, "Well, I'll take 5 whacks." I get rid of 15 of them. I mean, I had a lot. I had over 100 detentions. Well, he pulled out that paddle, had me bend over. Man, he lifted me up off the floor, and then he talked to me, and he lifted me off the floor. By the time he gave me the 5 whacks, or bust off 5 detention, 15 whacks, man, I was ready to cry. Now, I wasn't going to cry. I wasn't going to let him have the satisfaction, but I wasn't going back to him no more. So a couple of days later, went into drafting class and asked the coach. I said, "Coach, can you bust off some of these detentions?" He said, "Oh yeah, I love that." So I got in front of class and said, "Oh Lord, here we go again." And he gave me a couple of whacks. Said, "How many are we going to bust off here, Hardy?" And I said, "Just whatever you feel kind enough, sir." Because like I said, I still had over 100 detentions. So he went 1, 2, 3. Now Larry Shelley was the quarterback. He said, "Shelley, how many points did you score last game, Friday night?" And he said, 38, coach. He said, 30, 39, 40. Hey, K, what was his name? Kaywood, Gary Kaywood. Kaywood, how many yards did you run? He said, uh, 92, coach. Said 93, 90. I wound up getting about 12, 14 whacks to bust off that 100 something detentions. Oh, thank you, coach. Thank you, coach. Well, I don't think this, it's already 5:40. I don't think they're going to cooperate. No uni clear, no uni regular, no uni tiger. Amazing. Well, that's what I wanted to know. And thank you very much. I appreciate the kind words. Take it easy at work, okay? Be safe, stay well, and I pray that you don't get the Corvid. And remember, learn a little bit, pass it on. That's the fisherman way. And I'll catch you later on. Thanks for hanging with me. I appreciate it. God bless you. Be safe.